Hey folks, I'm Peter Melhorn. In this video, we're going to talk about tying a double hook stinger rig. Now I know a lot of you guys like to use big bait. You want a big bait for a big fish. The bad part is that, well, sometimes that fish can't eat all of the bait that you got. And he may bite off the back end of it, whether you're fishing for sharks or fishing for catfish, fishing for stripers. Sometimes the only thing that gets hit is the back end of that bait. Well, listen. There's a solution for that, or at least something that's going to help, and that is adding a stinger hook, a second hook, a double hook to your rig, to the bait. Basically, you're putting another hook in the back end of that bait that will hopefully help you hook up on these fish that are short striking what you've got out there. Now in this video, I'm going to show you how I tie up these double hook stinger rigs. A couple of variations, one using a circle hook, one using a J hook, and you can figure out which one works best for you. All right guys, I'm going to show you how I tie this rig up. I'm going to show you first a little different method than what I normally do. Usually I'm using circle hooks. A lot of people like putting a J hook on there first. And basically here's what you're going to have happening. You're going to come through the eye of this hook. And you're going to pull a lot of line through here because you need a lot of it to get to that second hook. And you can always cut it off. That's the great thing. So there is where you're at. Okay, and the reason I say a lot of line, because what's going to happen is you're going to make a uni knot. Okay, I've done videos on the uni knot, but I'm going to show you how to do it here. You're going to get to learn it. It's very simple. You're going to take that extra line you got. And by the way, this is not fishing line. This is some paracord that I'm using for visibility here. And you're going to come across, basically make an X across the shank of the hook and the other line. Now here's what I do, here's what a lot of people do, is they wrap this thing a lot. Basically, you're trying to keep this hook here fairly straight. Come through there, and I have seen guys wrap this down the shank of this hook 12, 13, 14, 15 times. Around through there, it's a bunch. So basically, you're creating a straight set right there on that hook. You got that around there like that. It's a little bit easier with monofilament, but what you're going to do is you're basically going to pull this tight. It's a little bit easier to do with mono. We'll do one at the end with mono. So that hook, boom, right there is good to go. You're good to fish with. Pull this up onto the eye of the hook as much as possible. Bam, you're left with that, okay? There's one hook. What you're gonna do then is come down here at the end, come back through here with this line. And what you're gonna do here is figure out how big of a bait that you have. If you have a small bait, say the size of these scissors, you're gonna figure you're gonna put a hook there and a hook here toward the back. If you had one there the size of this lighter that I've got to burn the end of this line, you would need a lot more. So it's kind of going to depend on the size of your bait. But that's the great thing about this line, because as you can see, we're just going to make another uni knot here at the end, or on the end hook. Again, if you missed it the first time, just come through the eye, down the shank of the hook, the back, cross it over, and then wrap it around. Boom. Boom. I'm not going to go around as many on this one. You don't need as many. That there is good to go. Usually what I do is hold it with my teeth. Boom. Pull it tight. You're good to go. I know all my dentist friends out there love to see people doing anything with fishing line with their teeth. But that's what you got right there, guys. A very effective hook, double hook rig to stick into those big baits. Now people ask why a circle hook on the end and why a J hook up here. The common thinking is that you get better action of the circle hook being on the end where it's free to turn more than it is up at the front. If you watch any of my videos, you know that I like circle hooks and I like using them. So we're going to use these. These are the octopus style. They have the bent eye on them. I think that helps with snelling the hook and tying this. So what we're going to do is go through the steps. First thing you do is take one of the hooks and you're going to go through the eye with your line. And I'm using some high-vis paracord here to where you're through there like that. It's on the line. What you're gonna do is come back over with your line, cross it over like this. Now this is the beginning of making a uni knot. I've done videos on this before in one of my most popular videos, but this is a very effective knot. Now, you're gonna want a pretty good piece of line. I had that kind of short there. If you were doing a short double hook rig, you could get by with that. I always say use extra line because you can always cut it off. So you'll make this loop, make it around there, just like that. And what you're gonna do is once that's right there, pinch it off and start making some loops around that line and around the shank. We're just gonna do a couple of them here so we got enough left. And that leaves you basically in that position right there. See what that looks like? What's gonna happen here is you are gonna pull this tight. And that's gonna give you a snailed hook. Now, if you were just wanting to go fishing, you could go fishing with that. That right there is fishable. You'd cut off this tag in here and you're ready to go. But what we're gonna do is, we're gonna use this end to slip another hook on. So again, just go back through here. It's a lot easier with fishing line. Through there, boom. So you're back on that line again. And then you're just gonna make another uni snail. This is one of the reasons I like the uni snail, is because it's great for attaching these hooks to the end of a line like this. Some of the other snails you have to go back through. Just gonna do those wraps through there. Normally, I will do about 5 or 6 of these. For this, I can get by with a little bit less, and then you're gonna pull it tight. Boom. There you go. Take a pair of scissors. You just cut off that extra there, and bam, get that little piece out. There's your double hook rig. You can sink this piece up into the front end of the bait, this piece in the back. These hooks can turn depending on how they go onto the fish. The hooks are in line. It's a great, great rig. All right, I know a lot of you guys are fans of a J hook, so I'm gonna show you a double J hook stinger rig here. Again, come through, just like that. We're gonna do the same thing, do the wrap. I'm gonna just show you a little twist here at the end. I'm gonna do the uni knot snail, just like we did before. We won't do as many, we'll get kind of to the end. I'll do something a little different here on the actual stinger hook itself. Boom, we got that on there. We're gonna pull that tight, boom, that's good to go. What I do with the J hook, instead of snelling it on the end, I come down here and just put a clinch knot, or you can put another uni knot down here. I'll do a clinch knot for ease operation. The reason being that roll action isn't as important with that, so I just put a regular clinch knot on the end of it, and that one is good to go. Like I said, you can use a uni knot also. They'll both work, but that's how you tie it up with double J hooks. They'll both catch fish. It's whatever you're comfortable with, whatever you like using the most, whether it be circle hooks, I use them, or J hooks. They'll both put fish in the boat. Well, folks, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. Here are a couple more videos that I think you're gonna like. I'd watch that one, and then that one. No, do that one first, and then that one. I don't know, just watch them both. They're both good.